President Draupadi Murmu appoints governors in 2 states, new governors for Haryana and Goa. Lieutenant governor appointed for the Union Territory of Ladakh. The Union Cabinet approves the PM Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. 100 districts will be selected under the scheme, inspired by the Aspirational Districts program. Connectivity crisis in Barak Valley. Frequent disruptions in rail and road infrastructure. MP Gaurav Gogoi writes to the Prime Minister urging immediate intervention. The 16th census will be conducted in 2 phases, special enumeration of 6 tribes in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, 5 of which are included in the PVTG group. A new species of gecko discovered in Assam. Named Nemaspis brahmaputra, unlike most geckos, this species is diurnal. Recently, President Draupadi Murmu has appointed new governors for Goa and Haryana, while a new lieutenant governor has been appointed for Ladakh. Former Deputy Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Kavinder Gupta, has been appointed as the Lieutenant Governor of Ladakh. Former Civil Aviation Minister Pashupati Ashok Gajpati Raju has been appointed as the Governor of Goa, while senior BJP leader from West Bengal, Ashim Kumar Ghosh, has been appointed the Governor of Haryana. It is important to note that the Governor is the executive head of the state. The appointment of the Governor is done by the President under Article 155 through a letter bearing the seal of the President. The Governor holds office at the pleasure of the President and can be removed at any time by the President. The provision of the Governor's office is mentioned under Article 153. According to this article, a person can be appointed as the governor of 2 or more states. Eligibility and conditions for the appointment of a governor are outlined under Articles 157, 158. The executive power of the state resides with the governor, who appoints the chief minister and other ministers based on the chief minister's advice. Recently, the 2-day BIMSTEC Ports Conclave was inaugurated in Visakhapatnam. The conference discussed enhancing regional maritime connectivity and cooperation among the coastal countries of the Bay of Bengal. The main theme of the conference was Blue Economy, Innovation and Sustainable Partnership. Representatives from the ministries and port authorities of the BIMSTEC member countries, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Thailand participated in the event. BIMSTEC stands for Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. It is a regional organization comprising 7 member countries. The primary goal of BIMSTEC is to promote multi-sectoral technical and economic cooperation among the nations of the Bay of Bengal region. Established in 1997 with the adoption of the Bangkok Declaration, BIMSTEC aligns with India's Act East policy, which enhances India's trade and security importance in the Indian Ocean and Indo-Pacific regions. Additionally, BIMSTEC has emerged as a viable platform for regional cooperation, offering an alternative to SAARC in South Asia. Recently, the Union Cabinet approved the PM Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana to boost agricultural productivity. This scheme has been launched for a period of 6 years, starting from the financial year 2025-26. The objective of the scheme is the upliftment of 100 districts with low agricultural productivity, low crop intensity, and limited credit access. It is noteworthy that under the scheme, at least 1 district from each state and union territory will be included. The scheme is inspired by Niti Aayog's Aspirational District program. It is the first scheme of its kind focused exclusively on agriculture and allied sectors. To ensure efficient implementation of the scheme, committees will be formed at the district, state, and national levels. According to the Economic Survey 2024-25, there has been an annual growth of 5.23% in agricultural income over the past decade. The share of food exports in India's total exports is 11.7%. As per the Economic Survey 2024-25, the gross value added (GVA) of agriculture and allied sectors has risen impressively from 24.38% in FY 2015 to 30.23% in FY 2022-23. It is to be noted that GVA is the monetary value of the total production of final goods and services by all sectors of a country's economy, that is, the primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. Recently, the President of the Assam Pradesh Congress Committee (APCC) and Member of Parliament Gaurav Gogoi urged the Prime Minister to intervene immediately in the worsening connectivity crisis in the Barak Valley. He highlighted the ongoing issue of the region's isolation due to repeated disruptions in rail and road infrastructure. Barak Valley, the southernmost region of Assam, is named after the Barak River that flows through it. It includes three of Assam's southernmost districts, Cachar, Hailakandi and Karimganj, collectively covering about 9% of the state's geographical area. The region shares borders with Meghalaya to the north, Mizoram to the south, Manipur to the east, and Tripura and the Sylhet division of Bangladesh to the west. The area is known for its fertile land, making agriculture the primary occupation. The Barak River, the second largest river in northeast India after the Brahmaputra, flows through Manipur, Nagaland, Mizoram, Assam and Bangladesh. Originating at an elevation of 2,331 meters in the Manipur hills, it is known as Surma and Kushiara in Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, it merges with the Ganga and Brahmaputra's combined flow into the Meghna River. Recently, a volcanic eruption occurred in southwest Iceland. This is the latest incident in a series of volcanic events in the region. It is noteworthy that this eruption occurred as a fissure eruption. For information, a fissure eruption is a type of volcanic eruption in which lava emerges from a long crack or fissure in the Earth's crust instead of a central volcanic vent. In Iceland, volcanic systems near the capital Reykjavik on the Reykjanes Peninsula were reactivated in the year 2021. Since then, around 12 eruptions have occurred in this region. It is to be noted that Iceland has 33 active volcanic systems, which is more than any other European country. It is situated on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which is a fault line on the seabed between the Eurasian and North American tectonic plates. A volcano is a hole in the Earth's crust through which gases, lava, ash, steam, etc. are emitted during an eruption. Based on the frequency of eruptions, volcanoes are classified into three types: active, dormant, and extinct. Active volcanoes erupt continuously. Dormant volcanoes are those that have not erupted recently but may erupt in the future, whereas extinct volcanoes are those with no possibility of eruption in the near future. Recently, the government officially announced that India's 16th census will be conducted in two phases. The reference dates for the census are set for March 1st, 2026 for most of the country and 1st October 2026. This time, special attention will be given to counting the 6 major indigenous tribes of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. These tribes include the Great Andamanese, Onge, Jarava, Sentinelese, Shampen and Nicobarese tribes. All tribes except the Nicobarese are classified as particularly vulnerable tribal groups or PVTG. This will be the first time since 1931 that a caste-based census will enable the accurate identification of these communities, which will aid in policy making. It is important to note that PVTG is a subclassification of scheduled tribes or STs who are considered more vulnerable compared to the general STs. Currently, there are 75 PVTGs in India, with the highest number 13 in Odisha and 12 in Andhra Pradesh. Regarding the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, there are a total of 836 islands. These islands are divided into two groups, the Andaman Islands in the north and the Nicobar Islands in the south. The two groups are separated by the 10-degree channel, which is about 150 kilometers wide. The Jarava tribe, one of the oldest surviving hunter-gatherer tribes in the world, will be counted in the census, and experts believe that reaching them for the census will not be as challenging as previously thought. Recently, a new species of gecko has been discovered in Assam. The species has been named Nemaspis brahmaputra after the Brahmaputra river. The description of this species has been published in the latest issue of Taprobanica, the Journal of Asian Biodiversity. Unlike most gecko species, Nemaspis brahmaputra is diurnal. This new species belongs to the Nemaspis polyhuna clade, which is mainly restricted to Sri Lanka. It is to be noted that Nemaspis brahmaputra is the second species of Nemaspis genus found in the northeastern region. The first species of the Nemaspis genus discovered here was Nemaspis assamensis, which was described in the year 2000. Geckos belong to the reptile class of animals. They are found in all continents except Antarctica. It is noteworthy that most species of geckos are nocturnal, which means they are active at night. However, some species of geckos are also diurnal. It is to be noted that the Indian golden gecko is endemic to India. It is mainly found in Tamil Nadu, Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. It is listed under Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act. The Delhi government has reversed its decision on the fuel ban imposed on all diesel vehicles under the End-of-Life Vehicle ELV framework as per the instructions of the Air Quality Management Commission (CAQM). This ban was previously imposed on petrol cars older than 15 years and diesel vehicles older than 10 years. The National Green Tribunal imposed this ban in 2015 to curb air pollution in Delhi NCR and prohibited the re-registration of such vehicles. It is important to note that CAQM is a statutory body that coordinates action on air pollution issues in Delhi NCR and surrounding areas, ensuring scientific research and effective solutions. According to the Motor Vehicles Act 1988, the registration of private vehicles is valid for 15 years, after which renewal is required. After the registration period expires, the vehicle becomes legally unsuitable for road use. According to the World Health Organization, air pollution is a serious public health challenge in India. The 2024 World Air Quality Report IQ Air ranks India as the 5th most polluted country in the world. Delhi remains the most polluted capital city globally. Recently, the 75th Pradhan Mantri Divyasha Kendra PMDK was inaugurated in Badaयूं, Uttar Pradesh. With the inauguration of this center, the total number of PMDKs operating across India has reached 75. It is to be noted that the newly established PMDK in Badaयूं will provide assistive devices to Divyangjans under the ADIP scheme and to senior citizens under the Rashtriya Vayoshri Yojana. It is noteworthy that the Pradhan Mantri Divyasha Kendra is a unique initiative aimed at providing integrated services to eligible Divyangjans and elderly persons under one roof. These services include assessment, counseling, distribution and post-distribution care. It is to be noted that these centers are being established through ALMCO, a central public sector undertaking under the Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities. It is also worth mentioning that the objectives of the Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities is to facilitate the empowerment of Divyangjans. This department functions under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. According to the 2011 census, the number of Divyangjans in the country is 2.68 crore, which is 2.21% of the total population of the country. As per the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016, there are 21 types of disabilities, including locomotor disability, visual impairment, hearing impairment, speech and language disability, intellectual disability, multiple disabilities, cerebral palsy, dwarfism, etc. Recently, the Sigandur Bridge was inaugurated in Karnataka. This cable-stayed bridge has been constructed over the backwaters of the Sharavati River in Sagar Taluk of Shivamogga district in Karnataka. It is to be noted that the construction of this bridge has been carried out by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways at a cost of more than 473 crore rupees. It is to be noted that the Sikandar Bridge is also known by the name Ambaragodlu Kalasavalli Bridge. It is the second longest cable-stayed bridge in India. It is 2.44 kilometers long and 16 meters wide. This bridge will reduce the distance from Sagara town to Sikandar, where the famous Chaudeshwari temple is located. As for the Sharavati River, it is an important west-flowing river in the state of Karnataka. A large part of the Sharavati River basin is located in the Western Ghats. Emerging from the Western Ghats, this river flows in the northwest direction and merges into the Arabian Sea at Honnavar in the Uttar Kannada district. The total length of this river is 128 kilometers and its basin is spread over 2,985 square kilometers. Along its course, the Sharavati River forms the Jog Falls, which is one of the highest waterfalls in India. Its major tributaries include Nandi Hole, Haridravati, Mavina Hole, Hilkunji, Yenne Hole, Harli Hole, and Nagodi Hole. That's all for now in this bulletin. After the news, let's take a quick look at 5 questions related to the bulletin. Consider the following statements. 1. The President Draupadi Murmu has appointed new governors for Goa and Haryana. 2. Kavinder Gupta has been appointed as the Lieutenant Governor of Ladakh. 3. The appointment of governors is made under Article 153. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. Or D. None of these. Consider the following statements regarding the PM Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. 1. This scheme was launched for a period of 6 years, starting from the financial year 2025-26. 2. The objective of this scheme is to uplift 100 districts with low agricultural productivity, low crop intensity, and limited access to credit. 3. The scheme is inspired by the Aspirational Districts program of the Niti Aayog. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. Or D. None of the above. Consider the following statements regarding Barak Valley. 1. Barak Valley is the northernmost region of Assam. 2. It is named after the Barak River that flows through the region. 3. This region is known for its fertile land. How many of the above statements are incorrect? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. Or D. None of these. Consider the following statements regarding gecko. 1. A new species of gecko has been recently discovered in Assam. 2. The species is named Nemaspis brahmaputra after the Brahmaputra river. 3. Geckos are found on all continents except Antarctica. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. Or D. None of these. Question 5. Consider the following statements regarding the Sikandar Bridge. 1. This cable-stayed bridge has been constructed over the backwaters of the Sharavati River. 2. The Sikandar Bridge is also known as the Ambaragodlu Kalasavalli Bridge. 3. It is the second longest cable-stayed bridge in India. How many of the above statements are incorrect? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. Or D. None of these. Send us your answers in the comment section. Thanks for watching. But before we go, let's take a look at some small yet important news. Recently, India, along with 18 other countries, participated in the joint military exercise Talisman Sabre 2025. It is a major bilateral military exercise led by Australia. Over 35,000 military personnel from 19 countries have participated in this exercise. It is noteworthy that the 11th edition of this joint military exercise is being held in 2025. In addition to the 19 countries, Malaysia and Vietnam have joined the exercise as observers. Held every 2 years, the Talisman Sabre exercise began in 2005 as a bilateral military exercise between Australia and the US. Recently, the Gola Tewai complex in Sierra Leone was inscribed as UNESCO's first World Heritage Site. The Gola Tewai complex includes the Gola Rainforest National Park and the Tewai Island Wildlife Sanctuary. Tewai Island is located on the Moa River and spans only 12 square kilometers. The island is home to 11 species of primates, including the endangered western chimpanzee and King Colobus monkey. The Gola Tewai area is Sierra Leone's largest tropical rainforest, rich in the biodiversity. Species such as the pygmy hippopotamus and African forest elephant are found here. The Machilipatnam port in Andhra Pradesh is undergoing massive redevelopment with the construction of a greenfield port. It is expected to be operational by the end of 2026. Machilipatnam port was once a major ancient port city. It developed as a trading center at the beginning of the 1st century AD, possibly during the Satavahan dynasty. Trade was conducted from this port with Rome, China, Persia, and Southeast Asia. It was referred to as Bandari Mubarak in the Golconda inscriptions. Recently, India's official nomination of the Maratha military landscape was included in UNESCO's World Heritage Sites list. Was made during the 47th World Heritage Committee's session. The Maratha military landscape in India includes a total of 12 major forts, most of which are located in Maharashtra, with one in Tamil Nadu. These forts were built or expanded between the late 17th and the early 19th centuries. After the inclusion of the Moidam of Charai Deu in Assam in 2024, it became India's 44th World Heritage Site. Recently, the Union Cabinet appointed Abhijat Sheth as the new chairman of the National Medical Commission (NMC). He will replace Suresh Gangadhar. It is noteworthy that Dr. Sheth is also the chairman of the National Board of Examinations in Medical Sciences (NBEMS). The National Medical Commission (NMC) is a statutory body in India that regulates medical education, medical professionals, institutions, and research. It was established on 25th September 2020, replacing the Medical Council of India. Recently, Google and Brookfield Asset Management have entered into a hydroelectric energy agreement. Under this agreement, Google has committed to securing 3 gigawatts of hydroelectric power from the United States. Under the agreement, 2 hydroelectric plants in Pennsylvania will be upgraded. It is noteworthy that Google is an American multinational technology company that operates in internet search and cloud computing. Google is considered one of the big 5 in information technology alongside Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Microsoft. Recently, researchers have discovered a new species of dragonfly in the Western Ghats. This discovery was made by researchers from the Travancore Nature History Society, TNHS, and collaborating institutions. It is noteworthy that this species was published in the Entomology Journal. This species is found in the southern and central Western Ghats and is located in several forest areas in Kerala and Karnataka. Its distribution spans from lowland rainforests to mid-elevation evergreen and deciduous forests, although it is rare and localized. Recently, the Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO) and the Indian Air Force (IAF) successfully tested the Astra missile. This missile was tested by the Sukhoi 30 Mach-1 fighter aircraft off the coast of Odisha. This is an indigenously developed air-to-air missile (BV-RAM) with a radio frequency RF seeker. Astra is India's first indigenous beyond visual range air-to-air missile. It is capable of penetrating dynamic targets at speeds greater than the speed of sound, covering distances over 100 kilometers and heights of up to 20 kilometers. That's all for now in this bulletin. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Drishti IAS's English and Hindi YouTube channels.